You're listening to the best local sports show. Boots, Bats and Balls on Six Towns Radio.
Duck Magazine is not an official Stoke City production.
On the phones, I've got Bunny, who is a writer for... He did start A View to a Kiln fanzine a while back that you may remember, but he's got a new magazine out called Duck Magazine. You'll obviously see him in the Oatcake, writing for the Oatcake. Morning, Bunny. How are you, mate?
Morning, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Very good. I've just been catching up on Duck Magazine and your promotion of it, and the flyer says SCFC, SOT, and Life. And I guess that's what it's all about. What else is in there, mate? Yeah,
what it is, mate. We wanted to do a magazine. It's me and another lad. Wanted to do another magazine for a long time now, and we wanted to do it based on Stoke City, and Stoke being the glue that holds it together, but also Stoke-on-Trent as well, purely because we've been a little bit fed up over the last decade or two of people running the city down, and there is a lot of good stuff that's out in the city. So it's not just Stoke City, but it's a look at life in general as well. So we're looking at things like shops, clothes, mates, love, life. People have written articles for us on things like the people you sit next to on trains, alcoholism and football, stuff like that. So it's got, obviously, but it's a Stoke City magazine, and it's all based around Stoke City.
I think you've got music and clubs and things like that in there as well, haven't you?
We have, mate. Yeah, we've got one article on Northern Soul and then how Stoke-on-Trent became kind of the epicentre of the country for that. That's a two-parter. First part's in issue 1. That's a great article. And then we've got another section from a lad called Lee Barber. Now, Lee Barber, if there's something going on in local music and he doesn't know about it, then it's not really worth knowing about. And he's done a piece for us as well. So we've got a couple of things on music because, like I say, football is worth more. Well, not worth more, but it's about way more than the 90 minutes actually on the football pitch. A lot of the lads and ladies who go to football are into the music, into the clothes, into the club, and just into the city in general.
So you mentioned Lee. I mean, we all know Lee from at Six Towns. He's got a show on Six Towns called Radicals Rising. Who else is writing?
Well, we've got 30 contributors. I mean, me and the other chap who, me and the other chap who are editing it. We've done one piece each where we've had such a fantastic response to people writing. We've got 30 contributors. We've got internationally acclaimed author and journalist Ian Ballaghay, who you'll hear on TalkSport, 5 Live, etc., and you'll see on Sky Sports. He's written a piece for us, based on Stoke City and Barcelona, the differences and the similarities to it. We've also got a fantastic piece by Paul Ware's daughters. A lot of people know that Paul Ware, Stoke legend, had problems with brain cancer and still has. I interviewed him a while back because I still write for the Oatcake, and I interviewed him for the Oatcake. But his daughters have actually sent a piece in, and it's a really witty, funny piece about the time he had in hospital under his medication, and that's a really cracking piece as well. We've had people who write for some of the major newspapers, such as the Times and Guardian, sending magazines and websites of the country. So, and whisper it quietly, we've also had a couple of Port Vale fans and a Man United fan who've sent stuff in as well. But it's all based on Stoke and Stoke-on-Trent. Because it's always nice to see other people's viewpoints of our football club and city.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, you mentioned the Oatcake there. Yeah. Obviously, you're right for the Oatcake. Yeah. What's the relationship with the Oatcake going forward? Because you've got a column in that, haven't you?
Yeah, I do Bunny's Rabbit in the Oatcake, and the other editor as well, Alfie, writes in there as well. Well, me and Lee I've written there for 15 years, and the editor, Martin Smith, has done us the honour of being interviewed for the first issue of Duck. It's in a feature called Cradle to Grave, just really looking at one particular Stokey. I mean, we'll always champion the Oatcake, always have done. It's an honour for me to write in one of the longest serving and best fanzines in the country as well. I mean, the Oatcake is George Berry blowing a kiss, or Martin Carruthers missing an open goal. People go to Stoke and people buy the Oatcake and always will. So I always hope that enough for Martin to print. We're nothing like the Oatcake at all. Absolutely nothing like the Oatcake in content or look. And how we sell it as well is different. So it's not what we see as competition to Oatcake. It's something that complements the Oatcake. So
as I understand it, won't be sold on match days. It'll be sold online.
Yeah, it It won't be sold at home matches like the oatcake. It'll be on a regular basis. It will probably be four issues a season because me and Lee both have full-time jobs anyway. This is a hobby. It's kind of a non-profit making hobby. What we're going to do, we'll sell it online first on our website. We may sell it at the odd away game, but what we're definitely going to do with issue 2 is sell it at pre-season games, depending on obviously where the club's going to play. We'll go to a few pre-season games as well. But it is mainly online sales as well, because I'm 44 years old now. I've got 3 kids and a slip disc at the minute, and I don't fancy standing on street corners bellowing out duck all the time.
Well, you can always get that celebrity seller you had in. Would he be up for it, you reckon?
No, I mean, yeah, I know you're talking about when I had a View to a Kill, and we had Morny Morkel, who's South Africa opening bowler. He played cricket with us at Endon. He was a professional at Endon, and to be honest, me and him got on really well. He was only a young lad, he's probably about 19, 20. Came over, and I remember one night Stoke played. I think he played Valencia pre-season in a game, and A View to a Kill was on sale. And I just said, "Do you fancy coming along and watching the game? You can sell me a few magazines." And I think he sold 7 because no one could understand actually any strong Afrikaans accent what he was saying.
Yeah, so we might be seeing Morny in pre-season, you reckon?
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully, if he comes across, I know one person will come across for the Ashes. A mate of mine who plays cricket for England in Glamorgan called Adrian Dale. He's coming over pre-season, so for the Ashes. So if we can get him up and selling a few mags, maybe at Yeovil or wherever we play in the summer, that'd be great.
In Newport, I reckon, mate.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Wherever they go in the UK, I would imagine Duck issue 2 will be on sale this summer. And also, just a quick one on that issue 2. We know already we've got 2, but we can't say we've got 2 big interviews lined up. One of them is a non-Stoke player, but is one of the biggest stories in sport in recent years, in fact, and we've managed to get an interview with him, but we're not going to say who it is yet, but that will be a biggie in issue 2. Okay,
mate. Also, you've got Gordon Banks' signed England shirt and up for grabs.
We have, yeah. Lucky enough the other night to go to the Gordon Banks' 75th birthday celebrations down at Britannia Stadium, and managed to have a good 10 minutes with Gordon chatting, and he signed as much as my Stoke paraphernalia as possible. And also we got a brand new England top, and we managed to get him to sign that as well. So that's up for grabs. That's a little competition in there as well. So the chance to own the best goalkeeper who ever walked the planet, his autograph on an England shirt, I would imagine is well worth the £2.50.
So I was just going to ask you how much it was, mate. That's £2.50 for Duck magazine.
Yeah. The cover price is £2.50. We wanted to make it as cheap as possible. The fact is, it's a full colour glossy magazine, and printing costs are quite high nowadays. We've kept it lower than a lot of fanzines nowadays. If you go around other grounds, you see some of the glossy fanzines they have, which are really well produced. We're looking at £3.50. So we've kept it at £2.50. And to be honest, we'll always try if we can to get the cost down as much as possible. We're not going to be on the street selling them. So we want to sell out, because if we don't sell out, we don't even break even. And as much as I love my writing, and Lee loves his, we don't do it to make a loss. So if we make a small profit, what we'll probably do is bank it back into local charity or into local businesses or whatever anyway.
Okay then, where can people get it, mate?
Right, yeah, at present it's only available online. If you go to www.duckstoke.co.uk, and if you just click on the button there to buy, it's £2.50 plus I think it's about 75p package and postage, and that will be out. We're getting it back from the printers in mid-April, and as soon as we get it back from the printers, it will be sent straight out to yourselves. We've already had a mock-up from the designer. It's been designed by an award-winning magazine designer in Manchester, and the look of it so far is absolutely first class. So we're really excited, me and Lee both, about it.
Talking about it last weekend online, how are sales going?
Sales are fantastic. I mean, I'm 44, like I said, I'm not into Twitter and all that kind of business really, but we put the word out on Twitter last week, and we gave some flyers out to Everton. We also went to Fulham and we gave some little flyers out. I'm giving some flyers out in some of the pubs today in Stoke-on-Trent. We've already sold nearly 30% of what we printed up. So as you can see, it's going fast, and that's just on word of mouth. And to be honest, to sell 30% just based on hearsay and flyers, etc., is fantastic. So I'm sure it's going to sell out. I'll be disappointed if it doesn't, to be honest. So I would say if you want me to know, I would get yourself online and buy one now, and that's not a sales pitch, but I will guarantee that the writing in there is absolutely fantastic. There's some absolutely brilliant pieces in there. So.
Okay, Villa today, mate. A couple of things. What do you think of the current situation at Stoke?
Yeah, I must admit, perhaps it's because the antibiotics I'm on with my slip disc. I've kind of mellowed in the last couple of weeks, purely for the fact that we've come to a stage of the season now where I think agendas or not even so opinions maybe even go out the window for a week or two, and it's just simply about results. I mean, I don't care today if, to be honest, we do park any bus or whatever. We just need to win. We can't draw or lose today. We've got to get ourselves out of it today because we can't bank on beating United and Spurs at home, and it will then all boil down really to the Norwich home game. I'm quietly confident about today purely for the fact that one thing you can always say about Tony Pulis is that when you need a result at home, he normally gets on. He can draw one out of the hat. Well, to be honest, if you look at all the statistics, the passing, the chance, it points to that there's got to be a change in direction in some way, whether that's a change in management or whatever. So it's not for me or for anyone else to decide, but we have regressed in the last 2 years. All I want to get back to is the Stoke of 2 years ago. Big bad Stoke in your face, but playing with tempo. Tempo is the key word for me with how Stoke play. Lots of crosses, lots of chances. It might not be the best football on earth, but I know a lot of neutrals who, when they watched us on telly 2 years ago, were absolutely enthralled to see Stoke City play. It was exciting. At the minute, the excitement has gone for 18 months now, really. A lot of the excitement has gone for me. So I just want my Stoke City back. My Tony Pulis Stoke City from 2 years ago. Playing with two wings if we can. Bit of movement up front and in the channels. Getting in faces. If we do that, we'll beat Villa today. And we'll get to a 40 points, and then I think it's time to have a look at me. Like I say, no agendas or whatever. It's just about cheering the lads on and getting that result, and then taking it from there.
Yeah. So, talking of results, mate, we always ask our guests to give us a score prediction. So, put your neck on the block, mate.
Okay. I'm the most pessimistic bloke ever, mate. Glass half full all the time. You can ask any of my mates on that. I think if we start with a head of steam today, I think we get a tempo up high. I think we'll beat. I know, if you can sound crackers, mate, and this is again the antibiotics, but I think we're going to beat them 3-1. I do. I think we're going to score 3. I know people be carting me off to the funny farm. I've got a feeling we'll win 3-1 today. I think that we'll go 1 up, they'll equalise, and then we'll score 2 second half kicking towards the Boven.
Excellent, mate. Okay. Let's hope that happens, and good luck with the magazine.
Fantastic. Cheers, Rob. Thanks for having me on, mate.
Duck Magazine is not an official Stoke City production.